learning under Katsuri Shibata for a while was it showed me a lot of the little intricate things that I was actually doing incorrectly. It really had me rethink my fundamentals.
Sarcophagus, which he is the mummy. He is a fez wearing mummy with a red coat and really bad puns.
I was RDC's first title fight, and now it's the first international fight. So I was super excited to have an opponent from overseas.
You, petty human with the mask, tell me where Optimus Prime is.
Hey, am I seeing things, or is there like a giant talking robot looking at me right now?
Do not mess with me, human. Bring me Optimus Prime.
How about I bring you a hockey stick to the face, pal? Google!
I went up to the luxury boxes where they had a box for family and friends. And that's when I looked out and I saw this little tiny ring in this giant sea of people, and I was like, holy fuck, I just did that. That's crazy.
I really think Superman's going to be another Blue Beetle, the Flash situation where they end up losing money. I would like to be proven wrong. I would like for it to be good.
This week's episode is sponsored by Dubby Energy Drinks. Dubby is a brand that is tried and tested with thousands of monthly people consuming their drinks. Dubby launched with just one flavor and slowly grew, and now they have created over 15 plus unique custom-made flavors that are enjoyed by thousands of monthly customers. So get off the big energy bandwagon and check out Dubby. This is how an energy drink should be. Jitter-free, crash-free, no sugars, no artificial colors or dyes, and no calories. And right now, you can get 10% off with the promo code ATPC90. From us here at the Adam Talks podcast as a special gift for you, just for checking out the show. So go to dubby.gg and use the promo code ATPC90 to get 10% off of your order now. We're back with another great one right here, right now. We are talking to an outstanding actor from Alone, the Jason Pitts film. That's the one that I saw that really stood out for me as far as her acting. We are talking to the one, Samantha M Shaw. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Happy to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
What got you into acting? I mean, what made you think that was something that you could potentially see yourself doing in the future?
Actually, I was a kid when I found out that I really liked acting, and I always tried out for any of the plays that were coming to town. But it was by accident in 2015. God's Not Dead 2 was looking for extras, and so I decided I'll throw my hat in there, thinking, yeah, I have nothing but bad luck. And I got a call back, and when I went, I met some amazing people who helped me climb the ladder, and I decided, yep, this is what I want to do now.
Right on. So it wasn't anything, it wasn't like a difficult decision. It wasn't something that was like, well, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that. No, acting, I guess. It was something that you thought about and you were like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, kinda. The parts where you wonder if this is what you're gonna do or not gonna do is you never start at the top. You always start at the very, very bottom. And if you start at the bottom, you still have to work. Unless you're, a millionaire that just decides to do it as a hobby, you still have to work. And so a lot of times, a lot of jobs won't recognize that as a second job or let you off for rehearsals or whatever. So you have to turn a lot of stuff down. You can't quite put yourself out there the way you want to. I know not the way I wanted to until recently I decided I got more time and changed it. So
there you go. Right on. So God's Not Dead 2, is that where your acting career actually started? Did you do any acting as a kid and stuff?
Nope, that was the first thing I was ever in that was on TV.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was that whole experience like being on set in one of these bigger pictures?
It was, oh man, it was an amazing feeling. I will say that. Started as an extra, and I decided, no, I'm gonna be further than that, and ended up meeting the director and getting to go backstage. Actually, not just be an extra, but I got to be part of the crew then and work with them and lights, and there was so much to it. It was magical. It was like these little pieces come together, and the work you never thought was put into such a project is just phenomenal. I mean, it was great, and I got to sit behind the camera while he was shooting, and I mean, it was just I got a whole perspective of it. And I used to say I would never direct, but now I am dying to direct a movie, and it's weird how you want to do all of it after you start at one spot.
Okay. I'm guessing a learning experience for sure. What all did you learn as far as the acting side of things go whenever you did that?
Um, that actors are a dime a dozen. um, it seems like that nowadays. Anybody can be famous. Anybody can be an actor. It doesn't take much, unfortunately. But the hardest thing was, I guess, the competition. Um, was going to be the hardest thing for me to deal with, was how many people actually are all fighting for the exact same role.
Oh, wow. Okay. Uh, that experience, I'm guessing if you're not competitive, then you're not going to make it as an actor, right?
No, and especially if you can't handle criticism or being put down, because I mean you'll be turned down 100 times before you get that one, and it only takes that one to get your name out there. So
Oh,
if you can't keep going and can't pick yourself up and dust yourself off, then it's not for you. But if you can, just keep taking it, you get stronger in the end.
okay. How did you stumble across being in some of these more independent films, like the Jason Pitts film? I've seen one that was like the cover of it looked like an old phone, like a rotary phone or something like that. I'm not sure what that one was, but I did see several of the stuff that you were in. How did you get into the independent film stuff?
The phone one is "Hello, are you there?" And that was a totally different director and different crew. Um, it was honestly, I don't even remember how I got into my first one. I do know with the Jason Pitts group, we were all, me and Jason, and I think another one or a couple of us were from Arkansas, but we were doing a movie in Alabama, and we all met, and we're like, "Hey, we're from Arkansas. This is cool, you know." And it just so happened Jason Pitts was one of them, and he liked to write, and so he had said that he had a movie that he thought I would be the perfect lead for. It kind of described me, and then he asked me to try out for it, and I said sure, and then it kind of took off from there. And when I submitted an audition, we were already there, and there were several women that had auditioned for that role, and they called me back and said that I had done the best, and then I just went and did that, and
What is the audition process and what is that experience like? Maybe
terrible.
for terrifying.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The terrifying. Like, go ahead. You elaborate on that. That's something that I don't think I was expecting to hear. Terrifying.
Well, to me it is. I don't know. I just feel like you want it to be so perfect, and talking to a phone without another person or without being able to interact is always seems like it doesn't come off as well as it would be while you're on set. You know, I'm thinking if I'm on set and I'm doing this, oh, it's going to go down like this. But when you're by yourself and you're just looking at something going, you know, trying to come up with all these emotions, sometimes it can be a little challenging. And then I always think, you know, I'm not good enough on the screen. You know, you always keep yourself down. And I just think it's terrible and I hate it. And then you wait for those replies and then sometimes you never hear back, you know, and then you find out somebody else got it. It's crazy for me.
So what is it like? You go, they take you. Is it that you send a video in as far as an audition goes, or is it in person, or is there different ways that they do it?
Nowadays, yes, they're doing them all a lot online, or through the phone video. I like the ones that are in person. That's the ones I'm not as scared of. And in fact, there is a movie right now that a friend, I'm going to shout out his name, Sean Thompson, is doing. He wrote, and I think he's directing it called The Hive, and he's taking auditions. And one of his main characters, I jumped on. I was like, "Ooh, that's so neat." I'm supposed to be doing an audition that was supposed to be something by this weekend, and well, a lot of happened this week, and I still have not submitted it. So, speaking of auditions, keep your fingers crossed for me, because I'll be doing it probably tomorrow.
Definitely. I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park.
I hope so.
What is the important thing about finding a part for you as far as seeing a part that you're like, if you're seeing these different parts, like we have open auditions for this, this, and this. What's the important thing for you as far as auditioning, whenever you're looking at a character?
Um, just really whichever one I think I can portray better, whether it be from something I'm familiar with or something that I've always thought about doing and how I would do it. It just has to be something that, now, given options, otherwise I'll play any role. I mean, it's more fun to be someone you're not normally. It's actually
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. So,
Yeah, definitely.
a little bit of
Definitely.
both.
I've never, well, that's not true. I did my first auditions for an audio drama. It's a G.I. Joe audio drama, and I tried out for Cobra Commander and this other part on there, and luckily ended up getting one of the parts, maybe both of them, but I know for sure I got one of the parts. And it was like it was exhilarating, it was great. It was like energizing almost for me because you're getting the opportunity to play this part, even if it wasn't like a bigger thing like G.I. Joe or anything like that. It's like I'm getting the opportunity to put my talent, my skills out there for people to check out.
Right.
Does it feel that way for you whenever you're doing the same thing?
Yes, absolutely. You said it just right. I totally agree. Yeah.
I think the scary part, like you said, is definitely the not knowing
Right.
if anything will come from it. Because you can be sitting there on your hands just waiting for days or weeks, and then all of a sudden it's like they make a talent announcement like, this is the cast, and you're not on it. It's like, oh, that's why I didn't hear back from them.
Oh, that sucks. I guess I didn't get it.
I'm glad they let me know, right?
Oh my goodness.
Whenever it comes to movie types, is there a specific genre that you like to be in more than another?
Action.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I,
Why is
I
that?
love. Well, I'm an ex-cop, and I like action. I like being outside, and I like the dirty stuff. I like getting dirty, and I like good action, good fight scenes, good, the typical, bad. I don't know if I can say that word on here, but
Badass, man. It's
it's
badass.
a badass. It's that badass. Yeah, that's it.
And, uh, I think I saw a trailer of a horror movie or something with a sequel, and you were playing a cop in it. Am I right?
Yes, Masquerade.
Okay, Masquerade. I didn't even realize that one. I think it was a different one. I'm thinking of a different director or something. But there was two movies.
Indestructible.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Indestructible.
Yeah.
I forget about those.
Did you lend your knowledge to those parts because you were a cop?
Yes, and I use my own gun and stuff. A lot of places where I play a cop, I like to use my own gun because I'm very familiar with it and know how to empty it and make sure nothing's in there and all that good stuff. But yeah, I use a lot of my own stuff when I do those.
I bet that trying to think of how my words aren't adding up in my head right now. I got something I'm trying to ask, but I'm not. Anyway, um, uh, you know, uh, I bet that feels good to be able to lend your knowledge that you already have from life experience to a part. Being able to, because you are a cop, you're able to help out, whether it's in Masquerade or Indestructible, you're able to give your advice. What was that like for you being able to do that?
It was great, especially since law enforcement was my passion job. I absolutely loved it more than anything. So being able to use it when I'm not currently in law enforcement anymore, I get to use it still on the side, but not in a way that's gonna, get involved with anything. And I love helping people.
How did that look as far as like what advice did you give for those parts? Like, was it just walking? Was it technique or was it mentality? I mean, what exactly did you give to them for the parts?
Now, in Masquerade, I didn't. I'm trying to think. I do remember talking to one of the gentlemen, but I can't remember quite what I said to him. More of it was in Indestructible. The other cop, I showed him how I clear a room and how we would go up the stairs before we started shooting, because of course they weren't. So a lot of just procedural techniques, house clearing, stuff like that. I showed them how to do and then get them done doing.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. But you've also been a kind of broken character in Alone. You were a broken character, someone down on their luck. What was it like playing that? Was it an easier part to play, or was it more difficult? Was it just another part?
That was actually the easiest part I've ever played. And that ties into the whole, kind of my background and history. I don't have any family or anything, so she was very easy to, connect with and understand. It was kind of like I was just picturing when I was doing that, when I was picturing I was back in my high school days. I was, I'm from the street, so, but it was easy for me, unfortunately.
That was a very good, like, that movie was really awesome. I think that was the first Jason Pitts film I saw, was Alone. When I was doing research for my first interview with him, I think my very first interview with him, I watched that one and I watched Masquerade and all kinds of other movies. But Alone stood out because of just how chilling Marilyn Knapp was in the part and how believable you played this part that you played. Because it was, and I said this about Annie Sullivan in Jason Pitt's most recent movie, but it applies to you in Alone as well. You made me feel that part. You made me believe that part that you played in Alone. You know, it was like I was there living that part with you while you were going through all this heartache and all this dude kicking you out and calling you names at the beginning and all that stuff. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen this several-year-old Jason Pitts movie. Go and watch it on YouTube or on Tubi. It's definitely worth the watch. It's a really good movie. What was the oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? I hate when my brain blanks. Uh, what was the experience like while making that movie?
Well, first I want to say thank you so much for what you said. That is very sweet and that's very touching because that's what I try to do. Um, that experience was great. Like I said, a lot of us, that was the first time we'd seen each other since the Alabama thing. And, so it was really exciting to get the group back together and to work on that. And also I was excited to be the first, uh, lead role. There we go. Lead role in a movie. So I was even more excited. And you're right, Marilyn, she knocked it out of the park. She is so sweet. It's so hard to imagine her being the mean old lady because I mean, you just knew her. You just want to go up and hug her. She's just so cute and sweet that it was hard for me to keep a straight face sometimes.
Oh my gosh. She did so good. And then she strangled you at the end of it. Sorry,
Yeah,
spoiler. Oh,
yeah.
uh,
How'd you like
that
that
was,
choking up though? That
oh
choking
my,
up was a little more than. So I did a little choking and they added sound effect to it. So it got me gurgling for like 10 minutes after I'm like, guys, I'm supposed to be dead. Like, I'm dead. Why am I still gurgling?
already dead. It's like that Simpsons meme. He's already dead.
That's it. That was it.
Oh
I
my
say it
god.
every time.
Oh my god.
But it was
It
fun.
was it was really good though. The chemistry between y'all was really well too. I mean, it was played out very good. I think that y'all had very good chemistry in that movie.
Yeah.
The scene on what was it, Mount Magazine, where y'all
Yes.
were talking out there, and it was like the sun was setting and everything. It was beautiful. It was
Yeah, and it was
beautiful,
only
and
like 20 degrees.
it was only like 20 degrees.
Yes. It was so cold. We couldn't stand it. And unfortunately, I brought my oldest daughter with me on that shoot. And, so I had a big jacket and I would hand her my jacket and I would shoot that scene and I'd say my lines and I was like barely finishing my lines and I'm shaking like this and my daughter was already running with the coat and I'm like, just get me warm and just, it was in the wind. It was so cold, but beautiful. Yes. Oh, it was beautiful. It was so cold.
Oh, it was really
Beautiful.
good. It was really good. One thing I will say is, out of all of the older Jason movies, that one's probably right at the top. That one and Masquerade both top tier movies as far as independent movies go. Those things are freaking outstanding. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
appreciate that.
what was it like working on Indestructible? The quality looked like it was a lot lower, like a lower bar on Indestructible than a lot of other movies. And I'm not trying to be mean or offensive. I'm just speaking truth. It looked like very low quality.
So, oh my goodness, I got roped into that a long time ago with my naive, ignorant, eager to get out there in the acting world. Fell for some man child that lives with his mother that directs on his phone, and that was it. So, that was all. It was in his backyard. Everything was shot at his house when his mom was asleep on his phone. Yeah, there was not a whole lot of actual movie set or anything like that. There were no lights, there were no microphones. So yeah, the quality is, I'm sure a little poor. In fact, I've never seen movies.
She's like Ryan Reynolds with Green Lantern, never even seen it.
We edit that part out. Let's just cut all that out.
I mean, it's whatever. Experiences are experiences, and you can't
Right.
go through life. Can't go
And
through
that's what it
life and
was.
being like
Right, and
exactly.
that's
I'm
what it
sure
was.
that I'm sure that helped you though to see what it was like at different ends of the spectrum as far as filmmaking, right?
Yes, yes. And you can tell more too after you get out of those phases when you've been on different types of sets. You can tell too what's more legit, what's gonna make money, what's gonna pay you, what's not, Like none of those, of course, independents aren't paid, but like on bigger sets and bigger sets, you know more if it's legit. And if you just see some guy walk out the cell phone and go, "Yeah, I make movies," oh, okay, you might wanna stick around.
I've done some very bad short films in my life, but I've made one. I made one that's almost got 1,000 views on YouTube a couple of years back, and I showed it. I showed it to Jason, and he gave me his honest review. Wasn't necessarily the thing that I thought he would say, but that's okay. And then I showed it to another filmmaker, and he said the exact opposite of what Jason said, and I was like, well, all right, there's another different viewpoint. I think that independent filmmaking is very difficult. Uh, and I think that independent filmmaking is also at times probably not very difficult. It just depends on who you have in your area and who's willing to come and help out. I didn't have anything. I did resource filmmaking. Whatever I had is what I had. I didn't have any money I could put towards it. None of that. It's just whatever I had. I had. It was me and two friends, and it was all right, Like I said, almost 1,000 views on YouTube, so can't say it was that bad if that many people watched it. Maybe. No. Either way, what was that other movie you were talking about? The phone one, something you call, right?
Hello, are you there?
Hello, are you there? What was that movie experience like?
Strenuous, stressful, but also fun at the same time.
Okay.
Uh, sorry. Yeah. Uh,
Bad experience?
a little bit, yeah. It was. It was, and I was like, okay, if this is how it's gonna be, this is gonna suck. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but it was
Okay.
a fun, but it was a fun movie, and I mean, it was fun doing it at times, but yeah, it wasn't the best experience.
Have you ever had to work on like bad sets or bad directors that were too strict, too stern on their lines? Like, this is the way it has to be. It can't be any other way. That kind of thing. Or
Oh
has
yeah,
everybody
that
pretty much,
one.
oh, that one was it?
That one was so bad,
Wow.
yes. And I have worked on a few like that.
Oh my gosh.
I can't put out names though. I can't do it.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't
But
name.
yes, I have.
You can talk about the experiences. I definitely wouldn't mind that.
Right.
Like, how do you deal with those experiences when you're an actor? Is it like one where you're like, all right, look, I can't deal with this, I'm leaving, or is it one where you're like, we'll just tough it out until the end and then not work with this guy again, or how did you deal with those situations?
I've done one of each. One where I did walk out. That was actually more recent. That was this last year. And then, the others were you just kind of shut up and put up and just kind of, or put up and shut up. Sorry, I said that backwards. And just kind of like, okay, get through this and it'll be over and I'm done. Just think about the outcome. Think about the product. And
Yeah.
sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
So whenever you're in these films and you're working on trying to make the best product that you can, best thing that you can, is it better for an actor to have more input, more advice, or more direction from the director, or do you think it's better for an actor to be able to just do what they think is going to be right for the part a little bit more, have a director that's a little bit more freeing about it?
Mhm. That's a really, really good question. But honestly, I agree with it being both. Because it
Okay.
depends. It's going to depend on the actor and it is going to depend on the director. I've been on set where I've thought, okay, they really should listen to the actors and let us do what to make this look good and make it look right. And then I've also been on sets where we really don't know what we're supposed to be doing. I would love the direction from the director and they're just like, just do something. And you're like, well, you gotta, like, you need to tell me, direct me on what you're wanting. So it really goes both ways. I can't give a definitive one or the other.
It's just dependent on the project, I'm guessing,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, have you been on different sets like that where there's a little bit of both?
Um, no, it's usually one or the other. It's usually either or. I just wish
Okay.
it could be both, or it just
Yeah.
depends it just depends, yeah. But no, it's
Okay.
usually either one or the other. Hmm.
You know, on my show, I like, I'm a huge mental health advocate. I absolutely love supporting mental health awareness because, I go through anxiety, I go through depression, I've had a bunch of ups and downs in my life, and I know other people have too. Throughout your career as an actor, have you had moments where it felt like you needed to give up or just stop? Have you had moments that were overwhelming or anxious or anything like that? And if you did, how did you deal with those moments?
Yeah, and the absolute honest truth was I had to pray and read the Bible. That reading was like to pray, and it got me through.
Okay.
One thing that
So
got me through.
you hung on to your faith. You stuck strong to the Lord, kept
Yeah,
him close.
right.
Because I mean, you know, at the end of each episode, I do this thing where there's 3 and 3, which is like I'll say 3 things I'm grateful for. I'll let my guests do that. And the third thing that I always say is it's a 2 for 1. But one of those 2 things is God, because without God you can't do anything. Everything's impossible. With Him, anything is possible. You know.
Right.
So I understand that completely. You know, I think the toughest part. I think the toughest part for me is the feeling of, I don't know if you've ever had it, but like an imposter syndrome whenever I'm trying to work on projects or whenever I'm trying to write something, just feeling like you're just doing this, you know, you don't deserve this or you don't need to be doing this or who do you think you are kind of thing. You know, I know I felt that and sometimes it's hard to just shake that off for me. Other times it's like, is this believable? Is this realistic? You know, how do you do this stuff? Whether it's writing, whether it's doing a voice acting thing or whatever. You know, I don't know if you've had any of those thoughts or not, but I definitely have. And those I feel like are the hard ones to shake off or like the, am I doing this? Is this me or is this, should I be doing, you know, that sort of thought. Um, those are always the hardest ones for me to shake off. I don't know about you, but for me, that's the tough ones.
Right. Yeah, but even all those moments, you can still pray and let God show you who you are, take a breather, and then you know that's your answer. It's not what you thought or what someone else thinks. It's, you know who you are. You know you're good enough. You know you're yeah, there's nothing that can keep a person down if they really don't want to.
That's a good word. That's a good word right there. You know, um, as far as being in the film industry, the acting world, whatever, what are some things that people don't really know about that are some like holes that new actors may fall into that they're like, whoa, danger zone, warning, warning, you know, that kind of thing.
Um, most films are unpaid. A lot of people don't think, nobody new thinks that everyone thinks you're supposed to be rich because you did a couple independent films or you did this and they think you're going to be millionaires. To anyone new coming into it, the holes are, you're probably going to spend at least a third, if not half of your time working on unpaid projects. And you have to be okay with that.
I think that's, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think that's about the only advice I could give.
Okay. See, like, I feel like that would fall back into that category of like, why the fuck am I doing this? Excuse my language.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
have to love it.
why am I even doing this if I'm not getting paid for it? I thought by now, after my 8th independent film, I should be paid some money or something. You know what I mean? It'd be like one of those things, but like, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta want to do it.
You
Where do
have
you
to
get
love
that?
it.
Where do you get that drive from to want to do it? That love for it. Where do you get that from? Where do you find that?
I don't have an answer. I don't know.
It's just there or it's not, huh?
It is. I've always been like that since I was little. I thought of acting. I loved it, and it's just always been there. And it's in every particle of me. If I could do anything and just one thing, it would be acting. I mean, that's just, and I don't know. It's all over me.
I don't know if you remember us talking about this, and I don't know if you could talk about it or not. But a little while back, I had talked to you, and you said something about you were going to be in a superhero film, and you were going to be playing a certain role in a superhero film.
Yes.
Can you talk about that role and that project, or is it
Um,
something that you're not able to?
it turns out it never went any further.
Okay.
Unfortunately, COVID, was it COVID? No, the, there's a war or something that was going on over there in Turkey
Okay.
at the time. And honestly, I don't know whatever happened with it. I think everybody just kind of fell apart. And fortunately, it didn't become anything.
Dadgum. That would
I
have been
know.
right up your that would have been right up your alley. Action right there. Big time action. You
Yes,
were the superhero, what was it, Firefox?
yes, it was. I was so excited too. I was.
And that would have been really cool. Been like, I know someone who played Firefox in a movie. No, I do. I do. You know,
Yeah.
that would have been really
I'd be
cool
like,
for you
Adam
to
who?
have that.
Adam who?
Who? Who said they know me?
Yeah, who?
Oh,
A podcast? I've never been on one of those. Did I get paid? Did I get paid for it?
Right?
No, I don't even know him. No, uh, no, but I had a great time with you whenever you came on for that short period of time on the little holiday special I had at the end of the first season. That was a lot of fun, that little conversation. And then we went last season, we were trying to get you on, and something happened that we weren't able to get you on. And then now, finally, we get you on the show. It's awesome. I'm very excited to have you on here because, like I said, I loved you in Alone. I didn't see that. I didn't realize that you were playing the cop in Masquerade. I didn't realize that at all. What would you say some of the biggest differences between like an independent production, even a high level independent production, and an actual big level production? What is the big differences? It's obviously size, but what else are the bigger differences?
Quality.
Okay.
Your quality of picture, sound, lighting. It makes a huge difference. Just how the picture turns out and everything. More crew, so there's more people around, versus smaller ones where you got to do more and more people are doing more of everyone else's job. I mean, really, that's like, to me, that's the two biggest differences.
Okay. What would you say your biggest your biggest part, I guess, you played in a movie is so far? What would you say your biggest accomplishment you've had in a movie is?
Man, that's so sad to hear me say this out loud. But I think it was Alone.
Okay.
So far, yeah. To me, I don't know, just yeah, that's the only one that I needed. What was the other question?
No, no, I was just asking, what would you say your biggest accomplishment in films were?
Oh,
It could be a personal accomplishment even. It doesn't have to be like,
step foot on set. It's been one of my biggest dreams since I was a kid, and even as an extra, how many people could say they've set foot on a movie set, an actual movie set, like God Country 2 and all that, or like Arkansas when I got to hang out with Liam Hemsworth and Carter,
oh wow.
all of them. So it
Wow.
was awesome. Being able to hang out with people and with them behind the best is not a name you get when a movie comes out. It's like, well, where were you? I didn't see you on film. Well, that's because I was backstage hanging with these guys. But you don't get recognition for that. So really, me just being able to be on set was my biggest accomplishment for personal and professional.
Okay. Did you get to learn anything from those bigger name people, the bigger name actors? Did they pass any advice on to you, or was it just being able to spend time with them and hang out?
A lot of it was a lot of just having fun, hanging out. But one did say, don't stop. Be an extra. Don't let that discourage you. Don't shrug it off just from one little lines and all this stuff, because everyone starts at the bottom. I mean, unless you're just your family members in the show business, everyone usually starts at the business. Just don't give up. And so that's what I decided to do.
Okay. Did did any films like movies, TV shows, or actors in general have like an effect on you that made you think, "Hey, I want to do that when I grow up"? As a kid.
As a kid, I loved Mel Gibson. I don't know why.
The
I loved Mel.
Patriot, Braveheart.
I loved it. Well, it was really the Lethal Weapons. The Lethal
Oh,
Weapon
okay.
movies. I love the Lethal Weapon movies. So I was a big fan of Mel Gibson. But let's see, who is another one? See, I can't even think of him now if I'm sitting here trying to think of someone, but he was one. I don't know. I liked him. Julia Roberts. I wanted to be just like Julia Roberts.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was my favorite female actress. all growing up. So I wanted to be like her.
Okay. What if you had to put a Mount Rushmore of actors together? That's four. Who would be on that Mount Rushmore of actors for you?
Hmm. Mark Wahlberg. Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Uh, let's see, who else? I love Dwayne Johnson, and he can act in anything. Kevin Hart describes him. These are the people that I would die to be in a movie with. Okay. Who's the other one? Oh, what's her name? Amanda.
Seyfried?
Yeah, that's it. I love her. I think she does good in anything she plays in. I just love her. But yeah, that's
Man.
pretty much. Yeah, I probably have maybe 10 actors or actresses that I absolutely love, but those are the top few.
What what makes a good actor, in your opinion? What makes a good actor?
Being able to sell me on the person they're being. Not, it's really in how they talk, not sounding like it's being read from a script. But if the character is sad and I feel like crying watching them, or they're so excited and I get excited, or I feel the adrenaline in it when I feel what they're feeling, I know they're a good actor.
Okay. That makes sense, you know. Like I said, I felt that part whenever I watched you in Alone. I felt that. I felt that girl's feeling of being alone, feeling of like isolation almost, and like there's no one there, it's just her by herself. I was like, oh man. And then this lady comes up and there's hope, you know. And I could
Right,
feel that when I was watching that. I could feel that this woman is being nice to me. She's treating me like something that is worthy of care and love. And after a little while, that changes, and you can feel that. Oh, yeah, the stomach turning feeling. You can almost feel that in watching that part, watching it play out. It was like, oh my gosh! And then the heartbreak at the end once she figures out this old lady is not who she says she is. You know, you can feel that heartbreak at the very end as well. I felt that. That's the mark of a good actor. I believe that as well. I believe that, and I think that's something to show that, hey, you know, you, Samantha, you are a really good actor. You know, I wouldn't have reached out to you. I wouldn't have reached out to you to ask you to play a part in my one that I'm working on right now if I didn't think that you would have done a freaking great job at it. I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't think you would have done a kick-ass job. You know, and you knocked all your fuck right, badass job right there. Um, but yeah, it's all the parts that I've gotten has sounded amazing from everybody's symptoms, including yours. You know, I only try to get people, huh?
how come you didn't bring that up?
Oh, I don't know. I just haven't thought about it. Uh, what the movie that we're the not the movie, the audio drama that we're working on?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I try not to get too ahead of myself. But if you want to talk about it, shoot, we can talk about it.
Well, since
I'm
that's the only thing I've worked on since the last time I talked to you, I figured you might want to mention it.
sure, why not? So right now with Shirley Boy Entertainment, I'm working on a horror audio drama, my first ever horror audio drama called Watching. And it's it's like I don't know how to exactly to describe it without giving away key elements in it, but this family moves to a new house, and after they move to this house, things start happening. And I think that's about as much as I can say about it right now. It's a bunch of very odd stuff that happens, and it's very creepy. And Samantha is going to be playing the mom in this. She's going to be playing Rebecca Jennings, the mother in this thing.
The mother/wife.
Mother slash wife. Sorry, slash wife. Um,
She was the wife too.
she is. She is. I don't know why that slipped my mind. What did you think whenever I asked you about it? I know immediately you said, "Yeah, send me the script." But I sent you the script and everything. What are your thoughts on this project that you're working on for me right
I sadly, I think it was a little too short.
now? Okay.
Of course, I mean, it could have been longer. It would have been nice. I think it's great. I got really excited. It gives me a little spooky. It's a little different. It's also the first voiceover or animation or anything I've been a part of. So that's a check on my bucket list. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really exciting just to work on just for the experience of it because I'm not used to it. So I love it.
You know, I'm always like I told Marilyn this too, because yes, people, Marilyn Knapp is going to be part of this as well. She's playing the realtor, Marjorie Stone. I'm very excited to have the two alone cast members reunited on here.
Me
Um,
too.
but
I came
I,
back
I
from the
told
dead.
I told both of you guys, I think, that I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be too much like, "Arr," because I know people don't like that all the time. People that have acted for me, I don't want to say so much or do too much to make people go, eh. You know, I'm always worried about that. But y'all were both very much like, "Oh, give me advice. Tell me what I
Yeah,
you know what I mean?"
yeah,
And that helped out a lot because I always get in my own head about that sort of thing. I'm always not wanting to scare people off or piss them off and make them run off and be like, "Hey, this guy's just being an asshole." You know, I don't want to work with him. You know what I mean? That's not what I want to do. So, but I think I put a pretty good cast together for this. Justin Russell's playing the dad. Gonna be awesome to have him on as this. He's gonna be playing what the heck? Thomas Jennings, the dad and husband. We have my oldest daughter doing her first ever acting.
yeah.
Uh, Rachel Sherman, very excited about that. She's a little bit nervous about it, but she's really excited about it. So that's a lot of fun. And in the cast announcement, I did have Michael Salvia as the brother and son Aiden Jennings, but he has since had to step away. And now we are having another guy that's been on several of my projects, Jesse Teague, stepping in and playing Aiden Jennings, the son and brother. So I'm very excited about that as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. What advice would you give my daughter or even Jesse for that matter? Because we're just like all amateur. No one's had any kind of help with any of their stuff. It's just kind of throw them into the fire kind of thing. What kind of advice?
Amateur.
You might know amateur. What are you talking about? You're an excellent actor.
No, by
You're an
far I'm an amateur.
you're an
Uh,
excellent actor.
oh,
Don't sell yourself short, Samantha.
oh goodness.
You,
What would I tell
you,
her?
Marilyn, and Justin are veterans on this project. So,
Trying to think of what I would tell. Is it Taylor? Taylor's your daughter,
uh,
yeah. Or
Taylor is the daughter in the audio drama.
isn't it? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Okay.
Rachel is my daughter's name.
Rachel. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to think of something to tell her. I guess the same thing I would say earlier. If that's something she wants to do, then don't give up. And even if you're just an extra, just, keep going. Because like me, it's been 10 years now and I'm still pushing to get in a big movie. But
Just because you haven't been in a big movie in a supporting or starring role doesn't mean you're not a great actor. Though. You're
well, thank
phenomenal.
you. I appreciate that
Um,
from the bottom of my heart. That honestly, that means the world to me.
I think you're doing an amazing job, and I can't wait to have this project done. No release date. We are in production right now. We're working on it currently, trying to get it put together. And the hope, now this isn't a definite. The hope is for it to be able to be released this Halloween.
That
If we can't release it this Halloween, there's always next year. I can release it early next year, whenever, but the hope is Halloween this year to get watching online. I would be so happy about that. Um, as far as acting goes as a whole, in your whole 10 years of acting, what's the most important thing that you've learned?
Patience. Honestly, that is one of the biggest things I've learned is patience. Having to have patience. And if you don't, you better get some, because without patience, it's yeah, there's no way to survive.
I think that that's a phenomenal thing that a lot of people don't have. And I've struggled with patience throughout my life. I have ADHD, so it's like go, 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 90 to nothing in my head all the time.
Yeah.
So whenever my brain thinks about something, it's like, I got to get it done now, or it's not going to get done at all. So being patient is something I've had to learn over time. Uh, is it something that you ever struggled with, or is it
Oh, of
something that
course.
just came really natural to you?
No, of course I've struggled with it. Patience, to a degree, always came naturally, but otherwise, no. Goodness, especially nowadays, it seems like I get more impatient than I did 10 years ago. Or it's COVID. I'm telling you, since COVID came and gone, everything's changed.
Jesus. Um, uh, that was like a fever dream, the whole COVID situation. It was like, what in the hell is happening? You
Yeah.
know, get a mask on, keep a mask on, stay inside. Okay. Don't go outside. Leave a mask on. Get a shot. Okay. All right. Then the next day they're like more and more and more added on to that one little thing. Anyway, that was like a whole fever dream for me. I didn't know what the
Shot?
hell was going on. I think I got vaccinated twice when I was working at the grocery store.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, it's okay. Don't worry. I didn't die. I'm still here. So
Yes,
we're all good.
yes.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Sorry. No, it's so funny. I never got it, and I kept having a bad feeling about it when it came out. And I told them, I said, I don't feel good. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. Now everyone's talking about the vaccine. It's got all this bad stuff in it. And I'm like, I tried to tell people.
Man, have you met like lifelong friends through acting? And has it just like, have you met people that you've stayed in contact since the beginning of your journey as an actor? Or is a lot of it just,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Go ahead.
you go ahead. No,
No.
I was,
I really thought I would, and you think that in the beginning, like you take pictures and you tell these people, and these other people like will never forget you, will go to the top. But honestly, no. I mean, there's there are there's a few people like from God's Not Dead 2 that I still have contact with to this day. But no, I mean, I see Marilyn, I kind of keep up with her, but no, nothing like that. There's just
okay.
too many places to be, too many people, not a whole lot of lifelong, I don't think there.
Do you feel like there's camaraderie in acting though?
There is. There absolutely is. There's people that stick together and there's people that don't. And then there's just, I don't know, show business acting world is crazy. You can get some that get a couple of names put out there and then suddenly they're too good to talk to you, or you'll get people that, just, I don't know, fight over roles or, doing something. It's crazy.
What would you say the project you've had the most fun working on was?
Um, oh, Raising Phil and Ernie.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it
I
was
don't
a
think,
TV show. And
okay.
I made some really good friends on that set, and done a couple of things here and there on other movies, or that was the same person with A Soldier's Secret, and I played in that. But yeah, Tennessee. That was the rest of the cast are just awesome, amazing group of guys. It was just so much fun.
What was that like working on a show? Was it different than working on a movie?
Not too much. You know, the lighting, the setting, all that stuff is the same. You're still shooting. It's just put together differently in the end. I mean, it just feels like you're shooting a movie.
Okay. I'd imagine it'd feel very similar, but at the same time, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that any different, really, because you're just doing the same thing, it's just a shorter thing, you know? It'd
Right,
be
like
like,
filming a short.
yeah, it's like filming a short film or something like that, rather than filming like a full-length film or a feature.
Right.
Wow, okay. Oh, man. Man, Samantha, I have had just the best time on here with you. I've had a lot of fun. Got to learn a lot of different things about the films, about filmmaking, about acting, about your personal experiences and stuff. It's an awesome time. I had a lot of fun talking to you on this.
Me too.
Um, you know, at the end of each show, like I said a little earlier, it's a 3 for 3 thing. I'm a huge fan of gratefulness. So as far as gratefulness goes, I'm going to say 3 things that I am grateful for, and then I'll give you the opportunity to do the exact same thing. For me, mine doesn't change at all. You know, the first is my support system, my beautiful wife, my 2 beautiful daughters, my mom, my dad, my brother, anybody who supported me on any of the ventures, whether it's acting, whether it's writing, making music, wrestling, doing this podcast, anything. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it without my support system, so I'm extremely grateful for them. The second is, well, you. Because, Samantha, if I'm being honest, you didn't have to come on here. I'm just some dude that likes talking to people. So I'm very grateful for my guests that come on, especially getting to talk to you today. It's been so much fun, like I said. So I'm very grateful to talk to my guests, very grateful for my guests to be on the show. Because without them, it would just be me talking, and who the hell wants to watch just me sitting on a podcast talking by myself? No one. That's who. No one wants to watch me talk by myself on a podcast. So I'm very grateful for my guests. The third thing is like a 2 for 1, and that is my health. Back in September last year, I had an accident with my car, and luckily nothing too serious happened to me. I didn't get any broken bones or anything, but it took me a while to heal from that. And now I am in very good physical health. I'm doing a lot better now, so I'm very grateful for my health, but also, like I said earlier, grateful for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without God, nothing is possible, but with Him, everything is possible. Anything is possible. So, Samantha, what are 3 things that you're grateful for in this moment?
Well, you stole mine, because mine is always going to be God. Absolutely. I've given everything to God. I'm grateful for Him. Without Him, I would not be here right now today. So, absolutely. I have to say too, recently I found a new meaning to friendship, and I have to be grateful for the group of friends I have right now. And then 3, honestly, my grandson Laker. And that's the 3 most things I'm grateful for right now.
Man, well, I appreciate you coming on, Samantha. It was a lot of fun. I love talking to you. I'm glad we could finally get you on after that first season's Christmas special or holidays. And then last year, like I said, we had that little kerfuffle where we couldn't find a date or a time. It didn't work out for whatever reason. And now we finally got you on after all this time. Very, very thankful for you coming on. I had a lot of fun.
No,
And people were
tell me,
wondering,
Adam. Jeez.
well,
No, listen, I am honored.
I get it. I'm leaving now. No.
Yeah, I said all I said. No, I'm very honored, and I'm very appreciative for you even to think of me, to have me come on and then actually give me the time on your podcast. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. It really does, and I'm glad to be there.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day or evening to jump on here and just chit chat with me for an hour or so. It's a lot of fun. If people were wanting to try to find you to get you to work on a project with them or anything like that, where would they be able to find you?
Honestly, I'm an old lady. I still don't have a lot of the Twitters and Instagrams, just Facebook or email me at Samantha Michelle Shaw at gmail.com or Facebook
Right on.
Samantha M Shaw.
All right. Well, Samantha, I'm going to let you get to doing whatever it is you're doing the rest of your evening. You have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.